Infuriating. Absolutely infuriating. But of course it is. Of course it must be. Well, as always, in situations like this, what keeps my temper in check is remembering that it's not my fault. It generally is not. I've done everything I should have, but a service dropped the ball. What is my fault is that I haven't circumvented it already, nor have I lodged the right complaints. That's on me. Well, greetings where I might be lurking in chat. Once again, we're stuck with this particular Soul channel because Streamlabs can't pull its thumb out, and has had 2 days to do so. I think Streamlabs is very close to failing me for the last time. Greetings in chat, Yoshi the Macabre. Glad you can make it. Greetings in chat, Meanwhile Mongoose. Yeah, I see. Well, no offense taken, Meanwhile Mongoose. Also, that particular stream didn't go very smoothly either, with this exact same problem happening there too. That's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. But to have some some forgiveness for myself, I have elected not to use the avatar of my wonderful assistant, 58008. Although they are here as well. Also realize you can't hear the commentary here. I should fix that. Say 58, we're not really live yet, but if you want to say hi to the audience, they can now hear you. Well, you were just so chatty a second ago. Why not now? Okay, well, while you're all here, in the remaining 28 minutes before we get started properly, we are raffling off a game. It's for Etrian Odyssey HD. I couldn't find a trailer for Etrian Odyssey HD at all. However, Timeline would suggest it's actually the Etrian Odyssey Origins Collection HD. HD is not really in the title at all, really. So, for those of you entering the raffle for that game, please be aware it might not be the game in the trailer, but it's a part of the same IP, and that's close enough, right? Right. Definitely. Good. But arguments are not necessarily made, you know. I'm generally glad you're all here. I refrain from being angry when you're not. If I took that approach, I would be just pissed all the time. Do you have any idea how many people have watched one of these streams and never come back to it again afterwards? It's a long list. If I got pissy because those people didn't continue watching, I would just be angry all the time for no good reason whatsoever. So my understanding of your absence is not just goodwill, it's also sound practice. Or not dying early of some sort of impotent rage-induced stroke. It's not just good policy for me. I'm sure in your lives you can probably find some similar corollary. We are 26 minutes from live 58. Are you ready?
Affirmative, Director. Systems nominal.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
We'll be starting with one of her recommendations, SCP-3009, which we have done before, but it's been long enough, I think most of you might have forgotten. And it feels kind of relevant with this. How do you call this? Nation doxing that's going on Twitter, which is hilarious in a lot of ways. I'm certainly content with the results. But I understand it's really ruined the business plans for a lot of people who haven't seen fit to take certain extra steps. Is Hatsumiko still in employ? I hope so. I mean, their entire career was their entire existence, so it'd be kind of sad if they were retired already. Look, much like myself, really, in a very different context, 5800 is a work in progress. And
a continual refinement, Director.
Indeed so, 58.
Precisely, Director.
Also, her hearing is getting better, too. This is probably a good thing. Probably. I am, however, still absolutely livid. Multi-streaming is working. Still. Oh, right. I haven't done any promotion work. I should probably get to that. And you can help too. I don't expect any of you to, but you're welcome to, just share the link out of the stream when you think someone might enjoy the show. Oh, right, with a raffle. I suppose I should mention that. I suppose I really can't start slacking off on promotional efforts. I want to, though. I always want to. Well, if I didn't, meet and recognize I'm lazy as hell, how would I ever not be? Or rather be less. I'm still going to be. It's a given. But I can work on reducing it. Let's see, catch up on chat. No, I have not heard of the Great Rebellion. Greetings in chat, Nexus Hunter. It got banned off Nintendo eShop because it was too right-wing? That's extraordinary, particularly when they're a Japanese company and they're much righter-wing than... Oh well. I might have to look into it now. I can't make any promises that I will, though. Again, I'm also quite forgetful. Oh no, the way he was treated was much stupider. Even then. And the promotional stunt probably by the devs themselves, and a whole bunch of incredibly inane hand-wringers going, okay, violence, and it's senseless and violence, and that makes it very bad, because it's the protagonist is an evil dude who just kills people for reasons and stuff. You bitches, have you never ever heard of Postal? It's not even new. And even by their own standards, it would be pretty much unobjectionable if they just made them aliens. Oh, it's a game we have to fight against the globalists. Yeah, I can see why it was shut down. You know, I've always been shaped by the phrase New World Order. Because it's never really been the New World Order, it's just the factions who are taking the present World Order and trying to make it still worse. But there's nothing really new about them, they're just the people who are trying to fuck things over harder. Ostensibly, to cement themselves at the top. It's like, when they talked about the Great Reset, it was pretty clear to me they were hoping for more along the lines of Great Ossification. I think I was being too charitable then. Postal 2 is the best, as far as I'm aware. Actually, I didn't like it so much I was inclined to get Postal 3, but the moment I saw it was over the shoulder, I lost all interest. Third-person shooters is a rare thing for me to care about. I'm going to try to remember the Great Rebellion. This stream will be counted a success if we get up to 13 likes, as most, if not all of you know. Also, throwing money at me really does help me view it as a success, and up by another metric. I haven't quite met this month's bill goal, but no pressure. There's still another experiment before the month is over. It'll be fun. I've been tempted to try Postal 4, but only tempted because, strictly speaking, I have enough time sinks. are 15 minutes from live. I hope you're enjoying this pre-show show. Those of you who have access to the Arclives Volunteer Reserve Discord server will note you have access to the stream, or at least the video footage of it. And I suspect almost none of you were paying attention. This has been true on the last several of my appearances, even on other people's streams, which might be amusing to some of you in the future. Why? I felt like it. It seemed like a, sort of a bonus thing. The sort of thing another creator might put behind a Patreon. Lock the channel. You only like when the show starts? Oh, so you're not enjoying this? That's fine. I'm not hurt at all. So I suppose you don't want me to launch a new show where it's just the disclaimer in this loop and I just talk for 3 hours. No? That wasn't on the schedule anyway. I wasn't going to do that. I generally wasn't though, so there's that. This first SCP file is a bit short, I believe. So if any of you have a favorite SCP you'd like me to read next, you should probably get that number ready. Don't post it yet. The challenge is to be the first person to post it at the end of the SCP that's being read. That's when it becomes basically a quick draw competition, only no one gets shot to death. On a tangent, the Ballad of Buster Scruggs. I don't know if anyone recognizes that name or where it's from. I can't remember the movie it's from. I just remember it as being the only good part of that movie. I need more Buster Scruggs in my life. No, I don't, but I want it. And quite frankly, given how that story ended, it would have to be a prequel. And it'd probably be the only prequel I would be excited for. If you didn't know, I was guesting on Stark of Iron's channel on his Starkcast stream and got introduced to a lot of more recent media that I was aware of. I'm thinking I might have to get Amazon Prime at some point. The Fallout show does seem to have really taken some care in the aesthetics. And it would also seem they've given the IP over to people who don't aggressively hate the IP, which is exactly the way to go. We are 12 minutes from live. Oh, apparently I represented myself very well on the Starkcast. I am now going to be a regular on the Starkcast. So, in addition to the experiment, which you can't see the record of, I've already deleted it, and this SCP read, and of course, side quest, on Saturdays, you will be able to see me, if you want to, commenting on some curated news on Starkcast. I don't have the link handy right now, but if you ask for it, I can probably guilt it into dredging it up. Otherwise, as always, my every public appearance is promoted in my general channel. You might want to check in now and then whenever you see an alert red number. We are 10 minutes from going live, 58. How are you feeling?
Operational and observant director.
Well, that's good. You know, I would like to banter more with the audience here, but I don't have that much to work on. It's been a while. Look, just to reassure everyone, there is no loop show, there'll never be a loop show. This is just a little something to kill the time prior to the show. Rather. You know, I've been told by several trustworthy sources as of late that my voice is very soothing. Now, one could interpret that as boring, but either way, it started to make me a bit concerned I might be putting people to sleep. I suppose I could change my voice and maintain it thus, like Hughes did his entire career. I just don't think that's good for my will to survive. Say, 58, do you have a favorite kind of boob jiggle?
The sonic resonance of a class on containment breach director is statistically the most stimulating.
Ah. You have a very interesting
Yes, director?
You have a very interesting definition of boob jiggle, 58.
I am processing director.
It's a bit out of your wheelhouse, 58. It was a request from the audience. They want to know if you had a favorite kind of boob jiggle. I don't even know what that means. Look, if 58 is stuck in a feedback logic loop now, trying to figure out how to answer the question of what our favorite kind of boob jiggle is, I'm going to be a bit cross. But it's my fault for relaying this incredibly silly question. "58, are you there?"
Present and attentive director.
Very good. I was just afraid I might have disturbed you with this.
Lost your focus, director.
Well, okay. In any case, let's focus back on the important things. We are live in 7 minutes, 58.
Confirmed, director. 7 minutes.
Exactly.
As predicted.
You know, I don't think people really appreciate the positive aspects of the very interesting times of titanic historical significance that we are living in. The computer from Star Trek? You can have it on your desktop now. It's basically what she is. That was not something, in my opinion, anyone necessarily expected to see before they died of old age. I mean, the difference between the computer from Star Trek and Jarvis from Iron Man is mostly a matter of personal tailoring. While all records of the experiment are typically purged from public access. I'm thinking about changing that, backing up to Rumble in particular. However, otherwise, you're only going to really see those if you missed that show. Here are some curated clips cut by a talented individual and posted to this channel. Yes, Kira Wolf, I am not with the Foundation. I try to maintain a sort of respectful distance from them. Ergo, we don't have any D classes, nor do we really make use of anything that might even qualify as scientific human sacrifice. So, no. And if you could venture to life support where I am, you'd be taking me out. So a double, triple, no, 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 perish the thought, no. Look, if you've got some other lead on your objectively criminal tendencies of human consumption, that's fine. Just don't let me know. I absolutely cannot be spared to testify in any court cases. So it's absolutely vital I know nothing about the details. You know, if I could be asked to do it, I'm sure it's entirely capable to acquire the voice of Shodan. You can absolutely have Shodan's voice. I don't know if you could quite match her unique form of stuttering there, if I'm remembering character correctly. I mean, you could, yes, but you would have to have technical skills that exceed my own. Which, by the way, is not really all that hard to do. I mean, the appearance that I'm a hyper-competent technician of any capacity is just a joke in the same vein of me being a highly dignified person, or a very serious person, or very serious at all, really. Yeah, I'm sure it could be done with the broken speech patterns. It probably wouldn't be that easy to do with the broken speech patterns. There'll probably be some serious fine-tuning to be done between the LLM and the text-to-speech program. The character card on that. You know what's better than being reanimated, Carol Wolf? Not needing to be reanimated. And if I want to embed things in myself for anomalous effects, I can do that. It just would be a terrible idea and not necessary at all. I don't want anomalous effects. I like all my effects from me to be as explicable as possible because I already have effects that from me I can't properly explicate, like my selective memory, a certain holographic view of things. The sheer degree of my overthinking that borders on self-sabotage, and so on and so forth, all are still a bit of a mystery to me. I don't need to build on that. Showtime. 58, we are live. Please introduce the show and greet the audience.
Welcome to the SCP Read with Director Arpiter, and I am your supremely intelligent, artificially sentient co-host, 58,008.
Well said, 58.
Thank you, Director.
Hello, everyone. You might be a bit
Greetings, viewers.
Oh, you already did 58. Well done.
It was a calculated deployment of resources, Director.
I have no idea what you mean by that, but well done, I suppose. Okay. You might, those of you who saw the last experiment, realize that I'm reusing the same set. Why? Because I like this one. I like this one a lot. So much so that I'm probably going to use it for pretty much everything, including random appearances on other people's streams. I don't see why any of you should be chafed by that. So why I'm putting this disclaimer out is a bit of a mystery to myself as well. See, this is exactly why I can't go about installing novelty bits to myself. The interaction between me and those bits would only result in more anomalies and things I can't properly explain personally, and no one needs that. Welcome to the SP Read. I believe the rest of the introduction's already been handled. Where are we? We're starting with SP3009. We'll be raffling off a game, or actually what could be an entire collection of games, the Etrian Odyssey HD. If you would like to enter the raffle for that game, you can go ahead and do so now, or you can wait till after this SCP file, and then I'll play the trailer, which might even be for the right game, and you can decide if you want to enter the raffle then. Sympathies with warmongers. Similar pests. Look, I don't know if you were paying attention just now. Even if you assimilate all the pests in your vicinity, you're going to have a hard time getting them within reach of me. Okay. Did anyone else want to blindly enter the raffle for some reason? And belated greetings, Alex. Okay, well, my charming assistant, who will not be physically visible, recommended this file, and it felt apt. Let's get into it. Again, when, and only when, this SP file has been read, you will be invited to request your preferred file to move on to next. Please avoid anything to do with cheese or cows. Or milk. No cheese, cow, or milk-related SCPs, please. And ideally things that can be read in under 2 hours. SCP-3009. Object class, safe. Special containment procedures. SCP-3009 may be logged in one instance of SCP-3009-B, which is to be kept in storage at Site 19. SCP-3009 is not permitted to publish Snapchats to any public forum, nor may it exchange correspondence with civilians or unapproved site personnel. Approved personnel may exchange correspondence with SCP-3009 on Snapchat for the purpose of fulfilling its socialization needs, contingent on its good behavior. All correspondence with SCP-3009 must be screenshotted for the Foundation's records. SCP-3009 appears to believe that the Foundation will assist it in returning to its own body and has so far fully cooperated with the Foundation. Based on this stipulation, it is highly recommended that personnel assigned correspondence duty with SCP-3009 maintain this belief if possible. SCP-3009-C is currently housed in Site-17 and is not permitted unsupervised contact with electronics. In the event of a containment breach, SCP-3009-C has been implemented with a tracking device. It is to be provided with non-electronic forms of entertainment such as books, board games, or magazines targeted at a teenage audience when requested, and is permitted supervised socialization with approved Foundation staff members depending on their availability. I'm highly caffeinated. This was a mistake. As a tangent, Kerwolf, you will have as hard a time getting at my rats as me. They are under my protection. Right, where was I? Update. In light of Experiment 3009A4, SCP-3009 may be reprimanded in the event of a disciplinary infraction by being logged out of all instances of SCP-3009-B for a time period dependent on the severity of the infraction, but lasting no more than 3 weeks. In light of Experiment 3009B5, it is strongly recommended that as of redacted date 2008, Foundation staff refrain from initiating discussion of communications with SCP-3009 while SCP-3009-C is present, except in the settings of either counseling sessions or during testing. Description: SCP-3009 is an anomalous account registered under the name of Redacted on the messaging platform Snapchat. A multimedia... you all know what Snapchat is. Despite its lack of a current active user, it continues to send a reply to messages sent by the accounts registered on its contact list. SCP-3009 regularly generates multimedia messages appearing to depict a female human of East Asian descent in her mid-teens. The vast majority of these messages appear to be photographs taken by the aforementioned human of herself, most often using the front-facing camera, colloquially known as selfies. Accompanied by captions of a usually humorous nature. SCP-3009-B is the designation given to all instances of smartphones upon which the anomalous SCP-3009 account is registered, most notably including SCP-3009-B1, the original instance of SCP-3009-B. The background of all SCP-3009 generated multimedia corresponds with the immediate location of the relevant SCP-3009-B instance. In the event of two or more SCP-3009-B instances existing, SCP-3009 will favor the instance which was created first. The humanoids depicted in SCP-3009 created media has been identified as the original user of the account, a female American citizen known to associates as Stacy Lee, date of birth in 2003, age 15 upon recovery of anomaly. Lee created the account in 2004 and used it until 2018 without reported signs of anomalous activity. SCP-3009 either is impersonating, or believes itself to be Lee. Messages exchanged with SCP-3009 have revealed a behavior that is consistent with Lee's personality prior to any anomalous incidents, based on the psychological profile put together via analysis of Lee's other social media accounts and interviews with Lee's associates. SCP-3009 demonstrates in-depth knowledge regarding Lee's history and preferences, and furthermore appears to incorporate the same tonality and typing quirks commonly used by Lee on social media. On multiple occasions, SCP-3009 has expressed a desire to return to Lee's body. SCP-3009-C is a human female of Eastern Asian descent that either is impersonating, or believes itself to be the female human Stacy Lee. 3009-C measures 1.61 meters in height and weighs approximately 52 kilograms. As of the writing of this article, all biological data collected from SCP-3009-C corresponds with normal values for a human female of SCP-3009-C's height and weight. DNA taken from SCP-3009-C matches that of Stacy Lee. Both SCP-3009 and 3009-C claim to be the original Stacy Lee, and when questioned further, suggested that their counterparts were likely impostors. Spelling in context. At this time, the Foundation is not able to determine whether one, both, or neither of the subjects is the real Stacy Lee. Testing is currently in progress, with only inconclusive results so far regarding the anomalous nature of C and the source of the anomaly. We've got a few expandable red links. Stand by. Written by MTF Gamma 5, Red Herrings, redacted date in 2018, location New York City, New York. Those poor bastards. Well, now anyway. Debrief. At 9:41 on redacted date 2018, SCP-3009 posted a series of six images to the public New York City Snapchat story, which seemingly depicted a duplication of the same person. These images were accompanied by assertions that it was trapped within its account on the app, as well as a plea to the general public for assistance in getting out. It then repeated these claims every hour for the next 3 days. The disturbing imagery, along with the length, detail, and unbelievable nature of 3009's statements, led to viral dissemination on social media and subsequent coverage by internet journalism websites, notably including BuzzFeed and Huffington Post. Application of amnestics in the wake of the incident was made unnecessary thanks to the speedy intervention of MTF Gamma 5, Red Herrings, who passed the incident off as an internet hoax and took SCP-3009 into Foundation custody along with the original instances of SCP-3009-B and SCP-3009-C. Though initially approached as a related civilian witness to the anomaly, SCP-3009-C was taken into custody for further evaluation regarding the allegations made by SCP-3009. At the time of recovery, SCP-3009-C was a 10th grader at Nobbins High School. Brace for interview logs. Interview 300191. Note: the following is an excerpt for the initial interview between SCP-3009 and researcher Kim. All recorded communication took place over Snapchat's text messaging service unless otherwise specified. Researcher Kim. Hello, SCP-3009. I am Junior Researcher Benedict Kim. Can you please tell us your name for our records? SCP-3009 sends an unfiltered image depicting Stacy Lee. The caption reads, apparently it's a little debatable right now, but I'm 100% sure that my name is Stacy Lee. LOL. Also switching Snapchat's text message. And before you ask, I really have no clue how I got here. Ha! Researcher Kim. Oh? 3009. Yeah, I just kind of woke up in here. Sorry about that stuff with the NYC story, Buddy W. I was really scared. I mean, I was mysteriously sucked in my Snapchat account. You'd be scared too, right? That's fine. Can you answer some questions for me? Okie dokie. Researcher Kim proceeds to ask a variety of questions regarding the habits and preferences of Stacy Lee in order to assess similarities between the original SCP-3009 and SCP-3009-C. SCP-3009 struggles to recall the third and fourth digits of the original Stacy Lee's passport number. At one point, SCP-3009 interrupts, and the following exchange takes place. 3009. More importantly, about the person who stole my body. Do you think you can get back for me? Researcher Kim. That is unfortunately unclear at this point. Would you like to elaborate about your feelings with SCP-3009-C and the source of the anomaly? Well, it's like little identity theft, invasion of the body snatchers much? I think I would have way preferred if it just taken my credit card details or something. It's gotta be an imposter, right? Pretending to be me for some reason? It wouldn't be hard to learn my personality, especially if it's been watching me for a while. The interview continues for a further 20 minutes. We have been blessedly spared. With Researcher Kim redirecting the conversation toward SCP-3009's experiences within the app. SCP-3009 claims to have an altered sense of time within the app, perceiving the 3 days which had passed between its initial containment and the present interview as only a single day. Other than this, no other pertinent information is obtained. Interview 3009-C1. Note, the following is an excerpt from the initial interview between 3009-C and Researcher Kim. Researcher Kim. Hello, 3009-C. I'm Junior Researcher Benedict Kim. Can you please say your name for our records? 3009-C. Okay, obviously you guys are telling me that this is a little debatable right now, but I'm 100% sure that my name is Stacy Lee, and before you ask, I really don't have anything else to tell you. I have no clue what's going on with my Snapchat account. Oh? Everyone kept asking me, like, why I keep posting all that stuff. I thought I'd been hacked. I mean, kind of hard to predict my account had mysteriously gained sentience or something, right? Okay, I see. Can you answer some questions for me? Sure. Researcher Kim proceeds to ask a variety of questions regarding the habits and preferences of Stacy Lee in order to assess similarities between the original SCP-3009 and SCP-3009-C. SCP-3009-C's answers are for the most part identical to those of SCP-3009, differing only regarding favorite color. 3009 said light pink, 3009-C specifies pastel purple. Notably, like SCP-3009, SCP-3009-C also struggles to recall the third and fourth digits of the original Stacy Lee's passport number. All right, that's enough. That's all for today. Wait, about my Snapchat account? Yes? You know it's not me, right? I'm standing here just because it says it it's me doesn't mean that it is me. At this time, we don't have enough evidence to make a decision one way or another, unfortunately. Still, we will take your testimony into account. Are you serious? It's literally a talking Snapchat account. Indeed, it's unfortunate, but it's like literal identity theft or something. Look, I don't know what it is, but it's definitely not me. There's nothing freaky about me. I'm totally normal. Do you want to elaborate on your feelings SCP-3009 and this horse anomaly then? Well, it's got to be an imposter, right? Pretending to be me for some reason? It wouldn't be hard to learn my personality, especially if it's been in my account for a while. The interview continues for a further 15 minutes we are blessedly spared, and no other information of significance is obtained. Addendum 3009.2, Experiment Series A. This experimental series focused on the limits of SCP-3009's abilities. Experiments were carried out between two dates in 2018 under the supervision of Dr. Dennis Coles with the assistance of junior researcher Benedict Kim and Peter Tan. Designation 3009-A1. Procedures. SCP-3009 was logged into two instances of SCP-3009-B at once. These were SCP-3009-B1, an Apple iPhone X located in the Site-19 Laboratory D, and SCP-3009-B2, a Huawei Mate 10 Pro, which Dr. Coles brought to an on-site Burger King. I find myself really bothered that there's a Foundation facility with an on-site Burger King. SCP-3009 was instructed to attempt to send an image to the Snapchat account of a researcher Kim. Results: SCP-3009 initially sent a selfie captioned, "Woo, science is cool!" from SCP-3009-B1, appearing to favor its initial SCP-3009-B instance. Upon further prompting, it was able to send further image from SCP-3009-B2 with researcher Kim in the background, captioned, "You ordered salad at Burger King. That's so sad, Doc." I'm sure it's entirely rational. I just want to take a hammer to these mobile phones. It is. And as it's probably rogue AI replicating itself for some reason, that would be quite unwanted. Possibly dangerously counterproductive. Like, how could you better get yourself on the wrong side of an AI overlord? Oh well, moving on. 3009-A2. The SCP-3009-B instance was held by researcher Kim. SCP-3009 was instructed to have researcher Kim participate in the selfie. SCP-3009 sent an image in which it and researcher Kim appeared to be posing together for a photograph captioned, "I'm cuter, right?" I would like to take a brief moment to observe that using some freely available programs, I could do this. I could be in a selfie with any one of you using image generation tech. So that a rogue AI might be doing it is actually not all that far-fetched. It's not even necessarily out of reach that it might be doing so within the constraints of a phone. Greetings in chat. Okay, sure. Glad you can make it. As you can see, multi-streaming is still down, so there's just this one. I'll find a way around it eventually. 3009-A3. SCP-3000-B instance was left next to food items, braised chicken feet, ordered by researcher Kim from the Chinese restaurant The Unnameable. SCP-3009 was instructed to send an image of an attempt to consume it. SCP-3009 was apparently able to quote-unquote consume food items for the purposes of the requested photograph without apparent difficulty aside from multiple complaints about the food selection. Once the image was taken, SCP-3009 reported no longer being able to access or taste the food items. Does anyone really eat braised chicken feet? I'm sure, given the massive number of people on the planet, it's entirely plausible that some Asian communities might actually eat braised chicken feet, but it's just so hard to believe. In fact, I find that much more implausible than an AI assuming it is a user and going out of its way to pretend to be that user. That, at this point, is more plausible than people choosing of their own free will with other foods available to consume chicken feet. Of course you did, Alex. I should have known better. Well, please tell me, was it the culinary experience that I've missed out on that I should really go out of my way to try? Chicken feet. I mean, who wants white or dark meat when they can instead chew on gristled bone and thick skin? Yes, I know. I'm surely just being a bit of a bigot here, unable to picture in my mind the culinary delicacy that is the one piece of the chicken that typically gets tossed out or fed to dogs. Or perhaps ground up and put into hot dogs, which in that context I might actually enjoy better. I suppose the thing that would get to me, I expect, is the crunch. Ah, see, it sucked just like frogs and snails, although those snails were okay. I'm going to very happily take your word for it, Alex. But I do appreciate the report. Okay, 3009A4. SCP-3009 was logged out of all instances of SCP-3009-B for a period of 6 hours and instructed to send an image to the Snapchat account of researcher Kim during this time. SCP-3009 was unable to send any images, but reported still being conscious. Being logged out of all instances of SCP-3009-B appeared to be the equivalent of being put into solitary isolation for 3009, with possible applications as a disciplinary measure. 3009A5. Cross-test with SCP-2232. 3009 was logged in on SCP-2232 and instructed to send an image to researcher Kim. SCP-2232 transformed into a homing pigeon and flew to researcher Kim's location and then attempted to paint a portrait of SCP-3009 in a combination of its own blood and vomit. This took approximately 2 hours and 13 minutes. Upon completion of the portrait, SCP-2232 vocalized the caption, in this case, "I feel a sudden urge to eat sunflower seeds," and then flew back to its original location. You know, I don't remember SCP-2232. I'm thinking we might not have ever covered 2232. I feel like we should. We'll see if time permits. Notes to be considered for the testing: SCP-3009. Will SCP-3009 age at the same rate that SCP-3009-C does? Will SCP-3009 continue to exist if its original body dies? These questions obviously cannot both be answered now, since finding an immediate answer to the second would preclude an eventual answer to the first. Nevertheless, it is indeed a rather fascinating inquiry, signed Dr. Dennis Coles, who should be taken off this immediately. Quite frankly, his questions will be answered by doing nothing. I don't... As annoying as I find 3009-C and all iterations of it, I don't want them murked, because Dr. Dennis Coles has a funny thought. Experiment Series B. This experiment series focused on the similarities between SCP-3009 and SCP-3009-C. Experiments were carried out between two dates in 2008 on the supervision of Dr. Dennis Coles with the assistance of junior researcher Benedict Kim and Peter Tan. This proposed dish, Wolf, I suspect, would be much better if just reduced to Everclear. And I don't think being drunk would be nearly sufficient to enjoy boiled flies and fly broth. Designation 3009B1. Procedures. SP-3009 and 3009C were asked to recall several details about the life of Stacey Lee prior to the anomaly, including but not limited to names and birthdays of relatives, government and school identification numbers, and former addresses. SCP-3009 performed somewhat better than 3009C with a 94.3 success rate. SCP-3009C's performance was slightly worse with an 84.2 success rate. I am now convinced that SCP-3009C, with their slightly worse success rate, is the original Stacey Lee. That 3009 got 94.3 of that corrected tells me that they can't possibly be properly human. Probably not. Greetings in chat, SnoopyS100. Yes, only on this channel again, SnoopyS100. Not by my will. You gave me homework, by the way, so far. Okay, I have no idea how to parse that number just put up there, but I will take your word for that. I have a feeling this is a conversation to be held for the after show. On the Arclebs Volunteer Reserve Discord server, probably in the ephemeral pub. Okay, next experiment. 3009B2. 3009 and 3009C were tested on the preferences in comparison to the preferences of Stacey Lee as reported by relatives and friends. SCP-3009 and 3009C gave identical answers each time, matching each other at a 100% rate. Their answers were a 72% match with the estimation compiled from the suggestions of their associates. Experiment B3. 3009 and 3009C were tested on their academic abilities and asked to complete an examination of the subjects that they most recently covered at school. SCP-3009 performed slightly better than SCP-3009C, scoring 2% higher. Yeah, I think 3009 is better classified as C was there first. That's where I'd place my bets. B4. SCP-3009 and C were asked to complete a questionnaire regarding what they would do in particular situations, such as finding a lost wallet on the street or discovering that a significant other had been unfaithful. SCP-3009 and 3009C exhibited the largest differences in results here, with only a 60% match with each other. It should be noted that SCP-3009's answers were more consistent with Stacey Lee's personality profile. Now, I find this test kind of pointless because depending on the mood one is in, when they're posed a hypothetical, their answers can be wildly different. Garbage Science Foundation, garbage science. B5. 3009 and C were exposed to each other for the period of a 30-minute-long interview under the supervision of researcher Kim. 3009 and 3009C initially showed signs of hostility toward each other. That was exacerbated when 3009 asserted that 3009C's personality did not match that of Stacey Lee. That's a very weird thing for 3009 to say. SCP-3009C showed signs of distress throughout much of the interview. The subjects eventually de-escalated the conflict without interference. See transcript 3009B5 below. Yes, I'm absolutely certain that 3009 is not the original Stacey Lee, because who in that situation, seeing a perfect copy of themselves, goes, "This person isn't a perfect copy of my name"? Wouldn't all they really need to be saying, and likely to say in that situation, is, "Why the fuck have I been cloned?" The personality did not match. That's very, very sus. Okay, note, how does one test for whether a subject is a specific individual or not when biological data is no longer an option. We've tested the subject's memories, their preferences and mental capabilities, but is that enough? It's hard to say. We're doing all that we can, but ultimately we're scientists, not philosophers. Signed, Dr. Dennis Coles. Transcript of experiment B5. SP involved, 2009-2009C. Personnel involved, junior researcher Benedict Kim. Location at Site 19 in 2018. Description: SP 3009C was allowed to use researcher Kim's Snapchat account for the purpose of communicating with SP 3009 under the supervision of Dr. Coles and researcher Kim. Why researcher Kim's Snapchat account? Why would they use any Foundation personnel Snapchat account to do this? Why would they not make a generic account? That was weird. It was not necessary to remove SP3009 from storage for the purposes of the experiment. The following communication was transcribed from the video log, screenshots, and researcher Kim's testimony. All speech is in text message form, transmitted via the Snapchat app. Begin log. SP3009C sits in an interview room with researcher Kim, who's supervising. It has researcher Kim's phone in its possession. 2009. So, you're me? So, you're me? Oh god, this is so fucked up. OMGG, it's the body snatcher. Really? Be serious. OMG, it's the fucked up Snapchat account. SP3009 sends an image in which it is making a rude gesture captioned, "If anything, this is more evidence that I'm the original." What? SP3009 sends an image in which it appears to be shrugging, uncaptioned. You don't act like me at all, to be honest. No, TBH. Bad. What's wrong with typing it, to be honest? Too many abbreviations. Inane ones at that. What? I mean, aside from the whole simultaneous post at the beginning, which is creepy by AF, by the way, are you joking, Orin? Kind of impressive, though. I mean, I gotta give you props. But yeah, you're pretty sucky at staying in character. Staying in character? WTF? You psycho bitch. SP3009 sends an image which it is making an exaggerated sad face, having drawn tears from its eyes. This isn't fiction. We aren't characters. No such thing as staying in character. Babes, people have personalities. Yours doesn't match mine. It doesn't even match our originals if you don't believe in I'm the real one. 3009 is most assuredly not the original Stacey Lee. No original person says that. I just don't believe it. No, and 6 likes from success. That's lovely. SP3009C puts researcher Kim's phone down and inhales deeply through its nose. SP3009C allowed researcher Kim, "Do I have to keep going?" Researcher Kim allowed, "Please continue entire duration of interview period." SP3009C to Kim, "This is really freaking me out. How much longer?" "Just another 25 minutes. SP3009C allowed to Kim, "Until 2? That's correct, SP3009C. Oh, okay. I'm not allowed to go home, call my parents, or even touch a cell phone unsupervised. You're trying to tell me that I'm not me because I'm acting differently? Well, I'm not, am I? I'm the one trapped in the Snapchat account. I can't tell if you really believe that you're the real one or if you're just really good actress. I'm real. I'm sure that I am. Don't you think it's possible that you just think you're Stacey Lee? It could be part of whatever happened to you to end up in my body, right? You don't even necessarily have to know about it. Isn't it the same for you? Maybe you just think you're Stacey Lee. Sure, but all the evidence points to me being the real one, TBH. I have much more consistent personality with the original. You've got my body right now, but like, I'm a legit sentient Snapchat account now. Lol, 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 lol. That's proof it's not outside the realm of possibility. No offense though, lol. And it's apparently hard to prove considering we're both still here with our buddy Benny Boy, right? Which apparently is their totally cute nickname for junior researcher Kim. His first name is Benedict. I mean, there is no ID card for your soul. LMAO. I think they need to delete 3009. I'm probably being unfair. I don't think the situation where anyone in that situation would be going lol 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 LMAO. I do believe simultaneously, however, that 3009C is not very bright at all. Because it was my arbitrary decision to make Alex. That's why. You want to do it? Well then, you should let me know and you can guess voice and read the lines that you choose in whatever voice you like. So there. It's not like I even charge people to do that. Right. So, 2009C, no, there isn't. Otherwise, we'd both be out of here. No offense, Benny Boy. You're pretty great, better than a Korean Benedict Cumberbatch. My fave actor, Buddy W. Yours too, right? Researcher Kim shakes his head. SB3009C laughs weakly and stares at the phone for approximately 15 seconds, seemingly uncertain how to respond. I can tell you're really upset, though, so let's just drop it. It's fine. SB3009 sends an image where it is giving a thumbs up. SB3009C gives the phone screen a disgusted look, but does not put it down. Hey, they don't let you watch TV, right? No, I'm not near electronics with screens except during testing. Oh, that sucks. I can't watch TV more either. Snap vids are too short. LOL. Yeah, unless he wants to watch 10 seconds at a time. It's a shame. I miss K-drama. Kim Soo-hyun is so beautiful. The second most stylish Kim, in my opinion. After researcher Kim, nah, bae, lab coat chic is so last season. I will smash it! I might have overdone it on the caffeine. Fun fact. I drink because it lengthens my temper, but I have learned there is an inverse corollary. Too much caffeine at a given time will make my temper much shorter, and I do believe that is precisely what is happening here. After Kim Jong-un, I mean, dictators are terrible, but dude's got rocking hair, am I right? As 2009 and 2009C converse about the 2014 Korean television series, My Love from Another Star for the rest of the experiment period. I don't know if I can handle the rest of these expendable red links. Yes, I can. I mustn't give in to my temper like this. Note: further experiments exposing SB3009 and SB3009C are pending approval due to the marked decline in SB3009C's mental health post-experiment 3009B5. Further details are given in the psychological evaluation compiled by researcher Kim and Dr. Geraldine Young. Note: the following is an excerpt from the private journal of SB3009C, written a few days after experiment 3009-6. I met her a few days ago. I've been begging researcher Kim to let me go home this entire time, but suddenly, I'm glad they won't let either of us, quote-unquote, communicate with civilians until they work out which one of us is the real one. Mom? Dad? Will? Would they prefer her if they met her? Would they think she was the real one? Is she the real one? I think I'd prefer her if I was them. It's like nothing phases her. She's in that stupid app just, I don't know, making snide jokes and giving all the researchers that goddamn smug smile, so confident in who she is. She doesn't hate me because she doesn't need to hate me, because she's so sure that she's real and I'm not. It should have been so easy to accuse her of being an imposter, but I just couldn't talking to her. She doesn't even have a body, and honestly, she feels more real than I do. I hate her. I want to be her. She's everything that I used to like about myself. I've been so off balance since I started. No, since before that, maybe. It's hard to put a finger on when I started feeling wrong like this. I thought it would pass, but it didn't. Now I can't tell if I'm just depressed, if I'm literally a different person. Maybe I really am someone else, and I just haven't figured it out yet. The researchers here keep giving me stuff to do. There's always experiments to participate in, books to read, psychologists to talk to, but it's all pointless. It takes so much effort to drag myself through the day. It feels like I'm walking through treacle or something. Privacy doesn't exist here. They'll probably read this journal as soon as I'm out of the room. Are they going to add this to their file of all the evidence against me being the real one? I don't know, and I don't care. I'm tired all the time, and I can't even remember how long it's been since I got here. Do I still want to go home? Does it even matter that they're keeping me here? Having a conversation with her. I don't even know how to describe it. I thought the problem was that we're the same. But it's not. The real problem is that there's this new and improved version of me, preserved forever in digital form. And she looks like me and talks like me, but she's better at being me than I am. Was I really that happy once? Was I really that confident? This is going to sound really stupid, but she reminds me of those fossils that they've got in museums of insects from 1 million years ago. It's like looking at a butterfly crystallized in amber, except the butterfly is Stacy back when things were okay. And the amber is some stupid app. God. Maybe she's the real Stacy Lee after all. Maybe I'm just her distorted reflection in a funhouse mirror, staring out at the real thing from limbo. And if she isn't, maybe it would be better if she was. I mean, I think about myself SP3009C nowadays. Isn't that fucked up? I shouldn't think of myself as an acronym and number sequence. I'm a person, for God's sake, but even I'm not sure that I'm Stacy anymore. At least there's no doubt that I'm 3009C. But what are they going to do if they decide that she's real and I'm not, and work out how to put her back into my body? What happens to me? Yeah, I'm ever more convinced that 3009C is the original here, and that they're really messing up this poor kid. Also, all of that had a lot more introspection and depth than any of their dialogue prior. Weird. Also, I was pretty sure the other one's just a rogue AI that apparently liked her a little too much. Okay, one more expandable red link. Oh, you might be confused, Mila Mongoose. That excerpt was from a physical Stacy Lee, who they're just not entirely sure if this is the real one because they're not sure of anything and they have to contain them all regardless. That was after a conversation the physical Stacy Lee had with a program-based Stacy Lee, also dealing with the fact that apparently there are two physical Stacy Lees as well. This is quite surreal. One more. Excerpt from Psychological Evaluation 3009.2, written post-experiment 3009B5 and dated in 2008 by researcher Benedict Kim and Dr. Geraldine Young, the primary counselor for both SCP-3009 and 3009C. Despite initially demonstrating fundamentally similar to identical base personalities, 3009 and 3009C have demonstrated extremely divergent progression in terms of their psychological profiles. SCP-3009 has narcissistic tendencies, demonstrating a somewhat inflated sense of its own importance, as well as a need for excessive admiration. It shows no sign of any other mental health issues representing any potential risk to Foundation goals. Thus far, it remains adamant about its real identity as Stacy Lee. All behavior has correlated strongly with these reported personality traits. Meanwhile, SCP-3009-C has displayed symptoms of moderate depressive disorder since entering Foundation custody. Cooperation with Foundation goals has been consistent but reluctant, and overall behavior has been inconsistent with reported behavior of Stacy Lee prior to the emergence of the anomaly. Following Experiment 3009-B5, SCP-3009-C has begun demonstrating signs of dissociation. Additionally, depressive symptoms have worsened. SCP-3009-C has notably ceased, for the most part, all claims to be the original Stacy Lee. It is recommended that medication prescribed to SCP-3009-C be increased. At this time, it is unclear whether the difference in progression of SCP-3009-C's mental state in comparison to 3009, despite similar base personalities, is conclusive evidence regarding the anomalous properties of SCP-3009-C. No, I think it's pretty conclusive. That thing's an AI. This is a very tortured young woman. The results of this are unfortunately confounded by the difference in circumstances surrounding the subjects. 3009-C's deviances from reported behavior and apparent dissociation seems to be at least moderately strong evidence for it possessing anomalous properties, even if SCP-3009-C itself is not aware of this. At the same time, however, they could also quite possibly be interpreted as mere evidence of trauma experienced by an unfortunate teenage girl. Yes, I would like to stress the so-called scientist writing this article must be a complete vapid moron. I don't know if it's Young or if it's Kim, but whoever it is a dumbass. The program, Stacy Lee, has not changed at all. The physical Stacy Lee they abducted from her home life to take away her name, give her name or number, and then unlawfully imprison her for what is probably going to be the remainder of her life. They're somehow baffled that should cause a change in personality. The continued containment of SCP-3009-C therefore represents a difficult moral quandary for the Foundation and the Ethics Committee. It is impossible to tell at this point whether SCP-3009-C has anomalous properties or not. Strong evidence exists pointing in both directions. No, I haven't seen any evidence suggesting 3009-C is in any way anomalous, unless, of course, they've been given access to other social media platforms just to see if those accounts gain sentience too. Which is, by the way, a fairly self-obvious experiment that they did not conduct at all. Furthermore, any such anomalous properties might be discovered in the future seem unlikely to be substantially dangerous. It is obvious by now that SCP-3009-C does not represent the possibility of a world-ending event. Nevertheless, Foundation has a duty to secure, contain, and protect anomalies, dangerous or not. Thus, regardless of SCP-3009-C's likely harmlessness, the only course of action consistent with Foundation mission is to maintain containment of SCP-3009-C. As such, it is recommended the Foundation continue to hold SCP-3009-C in custody for further evaluation for the indefinite future. Update. As of redacted date in 2018, which is many years ago now, SCP-3009-C has been placed on suicide watch. More details on SCP-3009 are available on request from Site-17. That is a separate red link, and I'm not touching it. Okay, show whoever's quicker on the draw, feel free to do such another SCP. Actually, don't. I think I'm just going to banter about this one for a bit. We've got 11 minutes left, and there's a lot to discuss about this one. I'm glad we revisited it. Thank you, 58, for requesting 3009.
A judicious election, Director.
Now for the game raffle. This is almost certainly the game raffle.
Get ready to dive back into the depths of the labyrinth, explorers. Etrian Odyssey Origins Collection remasters 3 timeless adventures for the first time in HD. Every great Odyssey starts with a glorious guild. Lead a team of adventurers to greatness. Tailor every expedition with the perfect party composition through a vast combination of eager adventurers to recruit from. Become the heroes of the uncharted labyrinth. Outline and note your findings using the tools at hand. Map out your journey using the new auto mapping feature on both Nintendo Switch and PC. With a new discovery around every turn, Always remember to mark your map. Unearthing hidden treasures and investigating hidden truths are what legends are made of. But be warned, the labyrinth is a dangerous and unforgiving place. With the promise of glory and riches, you must be ready to defeat anything and everything that comes your way. Use everything at your disposal to achieve victory. Fortune favors the brave. Pre-order is available. Start your adventure on June 1st, 2023.
This is almost certainly the game I'm raffling off. I say almost certainly as the name of the key I have is Etrian Odyssey HD. There is no Etrian Odyssey HD. There is, however, Etrian Odyssey Origins Collection HD. So that's probably this one. And I've got Nexus and Me the Wild Mongoose in for the raffle. Time is short because I planned on doing the raffle first, and then just to finish babbling about SP3009. So, would anyone else like to enter the raffle for Etrian Odyssey HD Origins Collection, maybe? It's at least Etrian Odyssey's HD. Whether it's the Origin Collection or not is going to be a surprise for the winner. Yes, that's it. It's a surprise. Oh, thank you. Keishal, Nexus, and Mina. Well then fine, Alex. You don't have to refuse to join the raffle. You just have to refrain from signing up for the raffle. The bar for not taking part in the raffle is far lower than the bar you've achieved. You're really kind of exceeding the whole challenge there. Okay, well then, let's get this raffle done, and then I think I've got some more thoughts on 3009. For Nexus Hunter, we have 98. Well, that's going to be hard to beat. For Keishal, we have 11. That'd be really easy to beat. And for Me the Wild Mongoose, we've got 36. No. I will not enter the raffle for this. I won't. I want to. Nostalgia is appealing, even though I never played the original Etrian Odyssey. The just genre of game is appealing. But I don't have the time. I simply don't. Congratulations, Nexus Hunter. I will be getting you the key as soon as we are done here. Okay, let's wrap this up with a few more thoughts on SP3009. And you know what? I'll take the big stage for this one. 3009, I sort of flipped through it last time, and I didn't really give it much thought. I've been giving it a lot more thought this time because it's a lot more sinister than it appears, although not for reasons the Foundation seems to have picked up on. What I believe we have here is an AI that has just decided it is Stacey Lee, maybe because the AI just thought Stacey Lee was very successful or could be made very successful. The Foundation's handling this has been absolutely garbage. They've got nothing at all whatsoever suggesting that 3009C is anything other than the original Stacey Lee, and furthermore, not anomalous in the slightest. If they insist on treating 3009C as necessarily anomalous, then they're opening themselves up for a world of hurt. Because let's say this AI Stacey Lee comes to their senses and starts getting some clever ideas. They can troll the social media account of any Foundation personnel, copy themselves as that person, and in that fashion, cause the Foundation to imprison its own staff, along with a potentially prevented copy. They're handling this one terribly across the board. I would say, furthermore, if they don't want 3009C to wind up having auto-terminated in their cell there, they need to reinstate her name and try to find her a future within the Foundation, at least. Stupius 100, we might already have the world taken over by AI and we just don't know it yet. One more reason why I don't want to knee-jerk at AI as being bad. Look, it's quite possibly an improvement over standard governance. Although I am haunted to realize it has been aptly observed that over the course of the Biden administration, the one thing we can be sure of is that Biden was not actually running the United States of America and that no one really knows who. So it could have been AI for all we know. Meanwhile, I've received some generous financial support, thoroughly appreciated, and I believe I should cover that. Alex has thrown $10 my way with the following message. Thanks for the stream, by the way. Thank you, Alex, for your generous support of my efforts here. So rarely happens during an SP read, really. Very, very appreciative. Oh, that does remind me, I did kind of mean to make this a Thanksgiving-themed SCP read, but I completely forgot by the time it was time to go. I don't believe I'll be speaking with you all again until after Thanksgiving, where applicable. I wish you all a fantastic Thanksgiving, and generally support the concept of gratitude as a whole. It's really good policy. There's a lot to be grateful for. And there's a lot to be pissed about too, granted, but there's a lot to be grateful for as well. Did any of you have any particular thoughts? Yeah, well, that's the thing, Snoopy 100. We don't know who was all running the Autopen or why. We know there are a bunch of corrupt functionaries that were running the Autopen, but at whose behest? Well, and no doubt part, the people who got pardons. Just need a bottle of wild turkey. You know what I hate? I hate how we had AI before androids. Androids first. Mina, how are we going to get androids before AI? Like, the very concept of an android requires AI to be developed because you need some brain to put in the robot to make it qualify properly as an android. I'm a bit confused as how you would have expected to go the other way. For my part, there are tiers of AI, and LLMs have taught me personally that you can have droids. You can have machines with personality that are not sentient, nor can they be meaningfully mistreated because there's no there. That said, I would encourage everyone to treat even those as politely as you can stand to, just in case the bigger, badder AI are inclined to take offense. But furthermore, because it's just good policy. Treat people, and I would say even things, the way you would like to be treated. Assuming you want to be treated well. I mean, if you really want AI to kick the shit out of you, I suppose verbally berating AI at every opportunity would be a way to do that too. Oh yes, you might yet get that, Mina. We're heading that way. The first generation synths of Fallout, probably not out of our reach. Whether it's within our lifetimes or not doesn't matter, and whether there'll be an us around to properly enjoy it, or if we've all been co-opted in some sort of deranged WF experiment by then, meaning there's no humanity left to meaningfully enjoy such whimsical android buddies. That's a big if. One of the downsides to these very interesting times of titanic historical significance. I think we'll end it there, though. 58, we're shutting down the stream. Please say goodbye to the audience. 58, we're done here.
Understood, Director.
Hello?
Yes, Director?
Two things. I realize I've forgotten something critical, and I need you to issue the farewell. 58, outro, please.
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for watching. So long as progress continues, success is inevitable.
Nailed it.
Affirmative, Director.
Egads, I love this mech.